Hello, and welcome to yet another episode of Edelweiss Konnect podcast. Here you can learn interesting investment nuggets gathered from specially curated book summaries featured in our Edelweiss Insights book summary. You can read our book summaries and listen to our Money Connect podcast on the Edelweiss Mutual Fund website, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. So simply grab a coffee, sit back, and enjoy today's inspiration.
So, Vineet, let's start today's podcast with a small quiz. Do you know how Steve Jobs turned Apple into a world-beating company? Or how Pixar went from producing CAT scan images to winning Oscars?
Is it because they did something unique?
Well, you are half correct. According to renowned business thought leader Peter Sims, the answer is in the little bets that these companies have taken. In his path-breaking book, Little Bets, How Breakthrough Ideas Emerge from Small Discoveries, Peter Sims argues that truly innovative companies don't get caught up in projections and predictions. Instead, they embrace uncertainty, take a chance, fail quickly, and learn fast.
Right, now I understand. So Pixar basically started as a hardware company that never found a market. Then it took little bets on making short films and got into digitally animated movies. Similarly, Twitter began as a little bet within Odeo, a podcasting company that was going nowhere. And Google started as a project to improve library searches.
I am sure the pattern of little bets is obvious now.
That brings us to the fact that genius is rare and perhaps overrated. Instead, what really works is experimental, repetitive, and trial-error approaches that gradually build up to create breakthroughs. Very few ideas are a super hit in the first go.
However, most of us have unfortunately been taught to avoid mistakes and failures at all cost. Thus, in order to adopt an experimental approach, one needs to make a significant change in mindset.
Little bets are concrete actions taken to discover, test, and develop ideas that are achievable and affordable. They begin as creative possibilities that get iterated and refined over time. They become particularly valuable when trying to navigate amid uncertainty, create something new, or solve open-ended problems.
The important thing to remember is that while geniuses are exceptionally rare, anyone can use little bets to unlock creative ideas.
Another thing to consider is that many people succumb to the illusion of rationality. This happens when ideas or assumptions seem logical in a plan, spreadsheet, PowerPoint, or memo, but have not yet been validated in the real world.
By expecting to get things right at the very beginning, we block ourselves psychologically and choke off a host of learning opportunities. By becoming more comfortable with the failure, viewing false starts and mistakes as opportunities, we are opening ourselves up creatively.
That's right. Those people who favor a fixed mindset believe that abilities and intelligence are set in stone, that we have an innate set of talents, which pushes us into trying to repeatedly prove those abilities.
On the other hand, people who follow the growth mindset believe that intelligence and abilities can be grown through effort. These people tend to view failures or setbacks as opportunities for growth. They have a desire to constantly challenge and stretch themselves.
One of the methods that can be most helpful in embracing the growth mindset and learning the potential of failure is through prototyping. By creating low-cost, rough prototypes, one can fail quickly and learn fast.
For example, Frank Gehry, world's finest architect, begins designing a new building by literally cutting up, crumpling, and folding pieces of paper or corrugated cardboards with colleagues. The initial prototype that emerges over an hour or so would probably barely look like a building. However, it is considered as merely a starting point, a point from which the team can work quickly and inexpensively to explore dozens of initial possibilities.
Another method that has proven to unlock creative little bets is related to improvisation principles. Recent neuroscience research has found that improvising can help to unlock a far more creative state of mind than would otherwise have been possible.
For example, the Pixar creative process relies heavily on what they call plussing. This basically draws upon the core principles of improvisation. The point of plussing is to build upon and improve ideas without using judgmental language.
The bottom line is that small wins can add up to big gains. The process of discovery is highly dynamic. Thus, small wins can provide a technique to validate and adapt ideas and to provide clarity amid uncertainty. In some cases, success comes through an accumulation of a series of small wins. After all, life is a creative process. It all begins with one little bet.
To summarize the key takeaways from this book, entrepreneurs don't always start with a great idea. Instead, they start with one idea, quickly discover that it's flawed, and then quickly adapt. To achieve success, you need to be open to making mistakes and then learning from them. The experimental approach works well as it allows you to iterate and improve. The important thing to remember is that while prodigies are exceptionally rare, anyone can use little bets to unlock creative ideas. Instead of just focusing on expected gains, you should also focus on affordable losses. Affordable losses can eventually turn into an enormous gain. The plan should be to fail quickly and learn fast. And lastly, small wins can add to really big gains. The idea of little bets is highly relevant to investing. You do not accumulate a big corpus overnight. Instead, you make small investments on a regular basis. These are like your little bets. One of the best ways of making these little bets is by investing in mutual funds through the systematic investment plan route. An SIP allows you to invest a fixed amount of money in an investment scheme of your choice and at intervals that suit you best. This means that you can choose to invest fortnightly, monthly, or even quarterly. Additionally, you can start your investments with as low as Rs 500. You can listen to more such interesting book summaries on our Money Connect podcast. These are available on the Edelweiss Mutual Fund website, Spotify, and Google Podcast for you to listen, learn, and enjoy as per your convenience. An investor education and awareness initiative of Edelweiss Mutual Fund. All mutual fund investors have to go through a one-time KYC process. Investors should deal only with registered mutual funds. For more info on KYC, RMF, and procedure to lodge or redress any complaints, please visit our website www.edelweissmf.com.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risk. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.